sataś tāvad utpattir asataś na yujyate sataś cāsataś ceti pūrvam evopapāditam.
Satascha tāvad utpattir asataś na yujyate sataś cāsataś ceti pūrvam evopapāditam. MMK chapter 7 verse 20. The springing up right now of the existent or of the non-existent is not workable. That it is not of the existent or of the non-existent is as has been tackled previously. So, as has been tackled previously, pūrvam evopapāditam. In fact, the eva is emphatic, so I'm going to change the translation straight away to just as has been tackled previously. Pūrvam evopapāditam. Pūrvam, previously, before. Eva, emphatic, so just as or exactly as. Utpattir means gone towards, approached with aggressive intent, attacked, so tackled, is just as has been tackled previously, and that refers to mainly, I think, to chapter 1 verse 7. For when beyond the existent, beyond the non-existent, beyond existence and non-existence, a dharma is happening. How is it workable in such a situation that there is a root cause causing it to happen? Okay, so that's a key verse to introduce Carlo Rovelli's idea, or discovery, that ultimately reality is about dharmas happening, things like kisses happening, not things like stones bumping into each other. So, the springing up, utpattir, nominative singular feminine. We've seen utpattir means going up, but with an extra sense of transcendence or dynamism. So utpada, going up, utpattir, springing up, flying up. And I interpret tāvad, which means right now, as adding to that emphasis. What's going on right now? What's happening right now? Tāvad utpattir, springing up right now. Of the existent, sataś, that's a genitive singular of sat, the existent, what exists, what is true or what is real, but in this context, as in 1.7, of the existent, asataś, of the non-existent, yujyate, is not workable. It doesn't work in practice. That's how I usually translate yujyate. Yuj is the same root as in yoga, which means union, but it also means practice. Yoga means practice. So yujyate, it's not practicable, it's not workable. Sataś tāvad utpattir asataś yujyate. The springing up right now of the existent or of the non-existent is not workable. Okay, now, mercifully, having spent over an hour waffling on about the previous verse and its possible hidden meanings, this verse, as I read it, is just laying it out unequivocally. There's no rhetorical question or open question here. This is the fundamental teaching of the Buddha about existence and non-existence. Okay, so that sounds like the fundamental teaching of the Buddha is about ontology, it's about existence or non-existence. But no, the fundamental teaching of the Buddha is about pratitya samutpada, springing up together by going back, or dependent arising in the middle way. That's what the fundamental teacher of the Buddha is about. And that's how this verse needs to be read. In that case, the important word, tāvad utpattir, springing up right now. Well, I was stretching my legs in between going on at length the previous verse and getting cold in the process, which is a shame because the sun is outside right now. I thought, for some reason, I'll check back and see what the likes of J. Garfield and David Kalupahana and Siddhartha and Katsa made of this verse. To see what extent they caught that meaning of the importance of tāvad utpattir, the springing up right now of the existent or the non-existent. So in chronological order, Kalupahana will be first. To his credit, he did bother to translate tāvad, but he didn't interpret it as right now. He took it as such. Tāvad also has that meaning. It means so, that being so and so. So as such, neither the arising of an existent nor the arising of a non-existent is proper. Even so is the arising of that which is both existent and non-existent, and this has been previously explained. Okay, so explained as a translation of upapāditam somehow misses to me. He's been attacked. It's been addressed in action. It hasn't just been explained intellectually. But really, there isn't that he's missed the importance of utpattir, the springing up. He thinks it's neither the arising. Arising is treated as if it just means coming into being, as if it's an ontological event, arising. He's missing the point that utpattir means a springing up. It means something happening. It's like in the 60s, I said, what's happening, man? That's a good phrase, Not how are your ontological arguments doing? Okay, so that was Kalupahana. Then we got J. Garfield with his Chinese whispers from the Tibetan. Neither an existent nor a non-existent can be properly said to arise, as is taught before with for neither an existent nor a non-existence. So the Garfield makes the reference to the last line of 1.6 in his version. The verse I quoted is 1.6. For neither an existent nor a non-existent thing is a condition appropriate. Hetu does not mean condition. Hetu means a root cause. If a thing is non-existent, how could it have a condition? If a thing is already existent, how would a condition do? And here's Garfield's comment. The implicit argument is then, nothing implicit about this verse, that inherently existent phenomena cannot be said to arise, since they would exist eternally and independently. Non-existent phenomena cannot be said to arise, since if they did, they would exist. Arising can hence only be a property of non-inherently but conventionally existent phenomena. But it then follows that arising as a property can only be a non-inherently existent conventional property. But Jay, what about springing up right now? Tāvad utpattir. He hasn't translated tāvad right now at all. It's like he's understood one thing. He's understood the Buddha's teaching is a negation of existence and non-existence. And like a guy with a hammer who sees everything as a nail, he's just bashing that point. He's just saying the same thing again and again. An ontological argument. He's missed the point. What the Buddha's teaching about is he's springing up right now on a zafu. You put your arse on a zafu and cross your legs, and you explore the meaning of utpattir, springing up from the deepest depths of your resentment, from the deepest darkness of one's ignorance. It's a soteriological problem, Jay. It's how to bloody live your life. It's what is going up. Kim utpattir. That's the question he asked in 7:18, and this verse is answering it partially. It's exploring the answers, exploring that question. Kim utpattir. What goes up? Tāvad utpattir. Springing up right now. That's not workable for the existent or the non-existent. It's not talking about ontology. It's asking what's workable. What is it that springs up, that can spring up in practice right now? Not a non-empty thing. Not me as a non-empty thing. Springing up right now is a happening. That's why he refers us back to 1.7. For when beyond the existent, beyond the non-existent, beyond existence and non-existence, a dharma is happening. Dharmo nirvartate yada. When a dharma is happening. What did J. Garfield say for that? When a dharma is happening. For neither an existent nor a non-existent thing is a condition appropriate. If a thing is non-existent, how could it have a condition? If a thing is already existent, what would a condition do? So where's dharma? Dharmo nirvartate yada. When a dharma is happening, you've missed the most important point. Sataś tāvad utpattir asataś yujyate. The springing up right now of the existent or of the non-existent is not workable. Again, let's see what Siddharis and Katsura Kindle. It is not right to say that there is the act of origination, whether of the existent, of the non-existent, the second line, or of what both exists and does not exist. This was shown earlier. No, this was attacked earlier. This was tackled earlier. But it's not right to say. No, it's not about saying anything. Yujyate means it's not workable. If it was, it is not right to say, it will be iti nopapāditate. Na iti upapāditate. That would mean it's not possible. It's not tenable to say. This doesn't say iti. It says it's not workable. Utpattir na yujyate. Springing up is not workable for or of the existent or of the non-existent. Sataś cāsataś ceti pūrvam evopapāditam. That it is not of the existent or of the non-existent is just as has been tackled previously. So, sataś, not of the existent. Cāsataś, so sataś ca, and asataś ca. So it's and. So, sataś, of the existent, asataś, of the non-existent. Sataś cāsataś ceti. So, this is why, fair enough, this is why Siddharis and Katsura took this iti. Cha plus iti is ceti. And so, the iti, that's what I've taken. It's not right to say, because they've taken yujyate iti. But for me, yujyate doesn't apply to statements. It applies to practice. Yujyate, they've translated, it is not proper to say, and then the iti covers all four: sataś, asataś, and sataś asataś. Okay, so it is not right to say that there is the act of origination, whether of the existent, of the non-existent, or of what both exists and does not exist. Okay, but I've taken the first line as an independent. The springing up right now of the existence or of the non-existence is not workable. Full stop. In the second line, that it is not, so na iti, of the existent or of the non-existent, sataś, cāsataś, is just ever, has been tackled, utpattir, previously, pūrvam. What is it that goes up? Kim utpapāditate. We don't know what it is. Dependent arising is an extremely unfathomable teaching. What goes up right now? What is going up right now? What we can say definitively about it is it's not something that exists or does not exist. That's the fundamental thing we can be sure of. It's like Alexander said, all you can ever really know in this world is that you are wrong. I was wrong to think that emptiness meant non-existence. I was wrong to think that I existed. Those are the two views to be abandoned. Yujyate drishti, shashvata drishti. Yujyate drishti is nihilism, shashvata drishti, eternalism. Those are the things we can be sure about. Those are the things that J. Garfield is sure about. So he keeps hammering the point home. But what's in the middle? Pratitya samutpada. Complete springing up together by going back. What goes up? What springs up? Kim utpapāditate. That's the question of 718. What springs up? The springing up of something is the ineffable happening. We can't get our heads around it. But what we can say, the springing up right now of the existent or of the non-existent is not workable. And that it is not of the existent or of the non-existent is just as has been tackled previously. For when beyond the existent, beyond the non-existent, beyond existence and non-existence, a dharma is happening. When a dharma is happening. Dharmo nirvartate yada. Nirvartate means developing, unfolding, happening. A dharma is happening. The fire behind me now, because I just put it on, I was cold, it's burning. The fire is burning. A dharma is happening. It's not of wood that exists. It's not of wood that doesn't exist. The wood is burning. We're going to explore that in detail very shortly in a chapter which is titled Exploration of Firewood and Fire. Dharmo nirvartate yada. A dharma is happening. That is neither something existing or something non-existing. How is it workable in such a situation that there is a root cause causing it to happen? So how is it possible in that situation that there's something non-empty? It's so important. I'm labouring the point, but Nāgārjuna is not an ontologist who's interested in existence and non-existence. He's a Zen master who's asking the question, like Master Dogen asked, what is this sitting lotus? Is it vertical? Is it horizontal? Is it a somersault? Is it a state of vigorous activity? Is it doing something? Is it not doing anything? The bit they're missing out is the exploration of the happening. Dharmo nirvartate yada. When a happening is happening, when a happening is unfolding. When a happening is unfolding, it's neither existence nor non-existence. The important thing is that a happening is happening. If you just talk about the existence and non-existence, you're missing the main point in the middle. Sataś tāvad utpattir asataś yujyate. Sataś cāsataś ceti pūrvam evopapāditam. The springing up right now of the existent or of the non-existent is not workable. That it is not of the existent or of the non-existent is just as has been tackled previously.
sataś tāvad utpattir asataś yujyate sataś cāsataś ceti pūrvam evopapāditam.